Yeah, so growing up, we both actually took to the guitar as kids. I think it was right during the Guitar Hero phase as kids, and then we got so good at that we thought, you know what, maybe we should learn the real instrument. Well, my name's Chris. I'm the guitarist and frontman for Abstract Radio, our band that we've started here in the Keys back when we were in high school. And I'm David. I play piano for that same band. Yeah, we're both Marathon born and raised. Went to Marathon High School, class of 2014. Yep, and then we both went to Florida State, graduated 2018. Go Knowles. We both grew up here, as Chris mentioned, and we both played in this band that grew up as originally Misery Loves Company down here in the Florida Keys, and we've since gone to college and come back and started this new group. We're having a really good time playing at all these same bars that we kind of started playing music at when we were younger, and we've kind of come back as more evolved musicians and been able to kind of get sharpened. One bar that we started at, the first kind of place that ever paid us, we played at this bar called Salty's Waterfront Grill, and it was like a really great bar on the bay side of Marathon. We used to play there every Friday for 3 years, starting up in high school with our four-piece band, Misery Loves Company. And we started actually the first night they opened and the last night that they were open. Kind of a tragic event. You know, they had one of those kind of old style marquees where, you know, you have to go out there and put the letters up. It wasn't like a digital one. So they'd go out there and put our letters up every week that said Misery Loves Company live tonight, you know, 6 to 10 p.m. And the last time we played there, the next morning, the marquee was like melted because there was a huge fire. It was one of those classic Florida Keys bars with a tiki roof. And some electrical problem or something they figured out after the fact happened. It had Misery Loves Company like melted down the marquee. It was kind of like a weird moment for us. I think changing from Misery Loves Company was a good idea. But it's wonderful being able to play music in the Florida Keys. It's a lovely place to go out and have drinks, and that's really one of the main ways you meet people down here, being this young and it being an island, literally. So a chain of islands. Yeah, when you come to the Keys, you're thinking about like the beaches and the reefs and like being involved in those things. So when you're coming back to land, a lot of people when they're planning vacations, you know, they're thinking, oh, where am I? I'm staying at a hotel, at a resort, this and that. You know, there's all kinds of those places spread throughout the Keys, like small island feel. But the Keys still kind of feel old when you walk into certain areas. Like you walk into a certain bar and the bar's on the water, it's under a thatch roof, and there's a different kind of energy you feel. Like things move, kind of slow down. Playing live music at these places is like, you know, you become a part of this like kind of relaxed energy. And when people are coming to the Keys, you know, hundreds of thousands of the people come here every year, and people are coming here to relax, so it's like a really rewarding thing to be a part of that energy that we play at down here now. So we ended up playing at an open mic at the Ocean View, at the OV, and that's where we met our current drummer, Angel. Consistency with these three-piece that we have now has been like incredible to be able to get tight-knit as we are now. We've built up our repertoire. We have a whole bunch of songs that we're able to kind of cater to whatever crowd we find in the Keys, which is always ever changing depending on the time of year. In the winter, in the summer, in the spring, in the Keys, you're always kind of busy now. There's never kind of an off season. We're on this rotation with several restaurants and mostly the middle and upper Keys, but a couple in the lower Keys as well. But we play at least 3 or 4 nights every week, and you have tourists down here all the time. So any place that doesn't have music, I think people, you know, it's just not as popular of a place. It's all about being on the water and about the live music and the tiki bar. So growing up, one of our big sources of inspiration was going out and seeing live acts. And of course, like, you can't go anywhere in Marathon, Florida without going to the Brass Monkey and seeing Freddie By, a local celebrity, play his guitar. And when we were kids, growing up, and I'm talking 12, 13, 14 years old, shouldn't be at a bar. We used to go to this Brass Monkey bar and watch our friend Brendan play the drum set back there. And he was the same age as us. And he was back there, and while we weren't technically allowed, we would hide our way backstage.
They literally took us, like, if you've been to the Monkey, when you walk in, the stage is up on the left. There's like a little curtain, little door entrance that was like stairs up to the side of the stage. Nobody uses that, but they'd usually just have a pile of crap back there. When Brendan started playing there, they moved this pile of crap just so they could put a couple of stools there so we could sit there and watch from behind this curtain because we weren't allowed to be in there.
And watching Freddie, of course, and being inspired by his musicianship, and that really brought us to a whole nother level. We have actually just booked a few gigs with the Brass Monkey coming up, and it's kind of a fun full circle moment for us to be able to play there at a place that we grew up being inspired to play music.
But it's going to be weird on that stage for the first time. And not being up there, not seeing Freddie by there. But, he's still going to be there every other day of the week pretty much, like he has been the last 40 years. And I say that lovingly. He is a legend. I've seen a couple of good guitarists. I've seen Van Halen and Rush, and he can play anything that those guys can play still to this day. So
the first few months we lost our original drummer, Freddie Bai actually texted us and wanted to see what we were doing, because we kept playing gigs as a solo act. As Chris on guitar, myself on piano, and we were looking for a drummer at the time, and we knew Freddie used to drum, but we also knew he played at the Monkey every night, so it was kind of a shock to us to hear that Freddie was interested in playing with us, and we actually ended up having Freddie be our drummer for a couple months.
Yeah, it was really cool to actually kind of see that light in his eyes, like surprising to see him want to play drums with us, so especially me being a guitar player and knowing what he could do, coming to play with us playing drums, I was like so nervous to play guitar with him running the beat in the back, I was like just so nervous about that whole exchange. One of our friends said to us, like, after seeing him play drums with us, he was like, I've never seen him smile so much.
He smiles when he plays guitar, but he had a smile on his face the entire time he was playing drums with us.
Yeah.
It's a big appeal for a lot of the venues here, is to come out and see live music. It's really like one of the marquee things you can do at the Keys, is come out to a bar and go see a live band. And I know it sounds so cliche, like it's like a standard thing you might expect at a bar, but there's some really special musicians down here, and it really, puts you in a different place.
Staying as busy as we are has been like super awesome, and we're lucky enough to be able to start coming out with merch soon for Abstract Radio. So coming out soon, keep your eyes peeled for that. We'll do t-shirts and hats and things like that.
Yeah, as far as the gigs go, it's really a good networking chance, as has honestly been our home base, Sparky's Landing, in meeting people through the gigs we had, and people we knew before we came back. We had connections, and were able to get at least a gig every weekend, and in doing so, restaurant owners will come out, they'll see you play, and they need more music, and everybody always needs more live music, because it's hard to be just a musician down here and afford a place to live. So there's always a demand, in other words, and there's always places to play, and it's just a matter of getting yourself in the door, really, and showing what you have. How I wish you were here.